All right, it appears we are streaming. We are live. I'm the only one on the show thus far. Canadians and Jay should be joining me this evening. I don't think anyone else is, though. Interesting, considering we'll be talking about 2000 pop culture. One of the things I brought up at the end of last show was whether or not I was going to say the aughts, because technically that's what they could be called. It's funny, I never really called them while we were in that time period, though. I don't know if I don't know why. I don't know why I did it. It's not like it's not like I had a really a long chance to do it. It was like back in aught 10, and I guess it wouldn't be aught 10. I guess it'd be aught 9. But yeah, it's something that was kind of cool because the last time you've been able to say the aughts was back in the at the beginning of the 1900s, and it's like then it's gone, and it doesn't come around for a long time. So I won't see it again, not unless there's some interesting changes in medical history going on. So sorry, I thought I saw a person walk by here out of my peripheral view, and I don't know if it was my wife coming in, which I don't think it was, or if it was one of my boys. My wife was out having a little kind of a mini girls' night with one of her friends, and for whatever reason, my boy Alex has decided that he wants mommy to be home before he can go to bed. So she's on her way home, and he has gotten out of bed several times. So don't be surprised if we have a little visitor in here shortly. We'll see. So it looks like Ray and Chris are on. So hopefully they'll jump on here in just a minute. It won't just be me talking. So I think anyone's in the chat room right now. No one's in the chat room. No one's even watching the show right now. So I'm pretty sure I sent it to public. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see here. Nope. Okay. So I was just looking at something, and I was trying to see if there was any kind of a broadcast thing or whatever I could do to make sure it's set to live. I don't think I can go over to the ingestion settings and see what it was set at, but I'm 99% sure it was set to public. I don't know why it wouldn't have been. They're always set to public, so maybe just be a very quaint episode, which is fine. It is episode 99, although technically speaking, it's episode 101, I believe. We actually did 2 episodes. We did 2 episodes where we discussed Star Wars. And while we were discussing Star Wars, they were... oh, hey, there she is.
Hello.
I was just talking to nobody. Because it doesn't look like there's any viewers right now. And yeah, so it's just been me talking. So I guess I'm talking to people who will be watching the stream later.
Okay.
So
can we talk to them later too?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I was saying, technically speaking, even though this is episode 99, in all reality, it's technically episode 101 because we didn't put the 2 of the Star Wars episodes in ordered sequence. We kind of stepped out, and then since we started doing other movies besides just the Star Wars ones, like, no, let's add them back into the sequence. So, yeah, we're technically at 101, but we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, it's 99 for all official reasons.
99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're not like The Simpsons. We didn't miscount. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no joke. Christy went and had a few beers with her friend Bolden, and Alex has decided that he doesn't feel comfortable going to bed until mommy's home. So there's a good chance I may have a little person visiting me here in just a minute. So
interruptions.
yes, in fact, I thought I saw him walk by out of the corner of my eye, but we'll see.
Interruptions. Yeah.
So
so I was goofing around and looking online, just for my own wonderment. I found a website that shows better airplane fees and stuff like that. That isn't affiliated with anybody, which is
okay.
cool. I gotta find it again. But anyway, yeah, from Detroit down to I think it was Houston. It was like 200 and something bucks a person. So I was like, that's actually not bad.
Yeah.
So someday when we try and get down there again, that's probably what we'll do.
Well, there you go. Wait a minute. Are you gonna be able to get Chris on a plane though?
If I'm medicated.
Just drink your milk. Just drink your milk.
Oh God, yeah. I'm gonna be sedated.
Milk full of I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I'll have to put some Ativan in there and
Yeah.
maybe a Percocet just for fun and
You're just gonna have to carry me off the plane. I'm gonna sleep for a whole day.
There you go.
or we'll take you to Red Lobster and you'll be high as a kite when you're in Red Lobster again.
That was the best meal ever.
Yeah. Red Lobster cheddar biscuits.
Oh God, I love those.
And we make them in the box. You can make it home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Deadly.
You know, I've tried them. I think I take that back. I don't know if I think I've tried those before. I think they are pretty good. I've seen like some of those like here's how to make them yourself, and they turned out okay, but they did not have anywhere near enough cheese.
No, you need the box. Like the preservatives are what make it.
It's preservatives and whatever they put in the butter. Like
yep.
there's a little seasoning packet. That
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah. I'm trying to be good. I have not been that good this week. I've got to get back at it. Yeah, at least at one point I was down almost 10 pounds. So
I seem to be stuck at this weight that I'm at right now. I fluctuate like 1 or 2 pounds, but I'm stuck at this weight, and I'm not.
We haven't been doing anything.
No, but I need to. Need to drop another 20 pounds so my heart doesn't explode because of the blocked artery.
Right.
From the cholesterol.
Sure.
What was that?
You're in good health.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Okay health. I'm not like a shining example of coronary health.
Anyway. I'm gonna drink my beer.
There you go. And I'm gonna keep drinking water because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to hit it again hard. I'm hoping it may be one of those things I just like kind of have to go down real hard, come back up a little bit, and keep hitting it. So I also haven't been able to walk most of this week due to either rain or just other stuff going on in the evenings. So I'm hoping, and then I'm hoping I can finally get back to working, actually working out again. So we'll see. So my shifts are changing again. Mm-hmm.
For the better this time, in the way that I'm going to be on straight days, which is good.
Okay.
And I'll actually have a routine. So that I think will be a big help of having a normal routine that I can actually do stuff at night and get into some sort of routine. I'll make something up and start doing that anyway. Because we have the weights in here, and we've got the yoga mats, and we've got stuff that I can use here, and just have to start doing it. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't enjoy doing the weights. I know I need to do it, but even when I was doing it regularly, it still was just like, all right, well, this is the thing that I have to do. It never became like enjoyable. Like I look forward to it. Like I look forward to going for a walk because I can listen to music, just kind of clear my head or whatever. And with the weights, it's just like, no, this is a thing that I have to do.
Yeah.
So
I like weights.
I like weights too. I like lifting a lot of weight.
But so
yeah. So Jason, he's going to be on in a little bit.
Yep.
Who else is coming?
I think it's just us. Like, I know Jennifer said she can't make it, and then Lainey never got back to me, so I don't know.
He's tired.
Probably. So I'm trying something interesting. My brother and I came up with this idea, and I wanted to try it before Geek Fest because I've actually got a panel. I'm doing 3D printing and cosplay, and I had the idea. Those things. Every so often you see something, you think about it, you just kind of fall away in the back of your brain, you kind of forget about it, and then you someone mentions it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Using a heat gun on 3D printed materials. So what I'm going to do is I was thinking about like designing armor. Mm-hmm. To design armor for a human that has really weird shapes. I was like, I wonder if you could design the armor and heat up the plastic just enough that you could like bend it a little bit to help fold it. So what I've done was I basically 3D printed a flat piece, and then I 3D printed a domed piece, and I'm going to see which one works better, but I'm going to take like probably a towel or something and put it on my arm. Well, I'll show you. So, it kind of fits, but not great. And I want to see if I can, put a towel or something on my arm and heat it up just enough that I could mold it so that, whenever I pull it off, it would be the correct shape. So we're going to see. Yeah,
that'd be, you need to make a maker's video on that one.
Yeah, I need to make, I've got like 7 maker's videos I've just been waiting to do. So
yeah.
Of course I have to update another project. We had a horrible night. Tuesday night, got lost half an hour of my life I'll never get back. Uh-oh. I go in the boys' room, and it's right before bath time. We go in the boys' room, and one of the proton packs is down on the ground. And the hooks that I have 3D printed for them are snapped off, all 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, and I look over, and the camera's moved real weird, and I'm just like, okay, I wonder if these just weren't, they're just not designed well enough to hold the weight, or if someone threw something up there and caused the problem. So, Alex, did you throw anything up there? Nope. Okay. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. Nicholas, did you throw something up there? I don't remember. No, this is not an I don't remember situation. This is
sounds like Quinn. Yeah.
And he started like freaking out and, kind of backed off a little bit, but then I had to keep hammering. I'm like, all you have to say is yes or no. I don't remember. I'm like, this is not hard. If you don't remember doing it, then you didn't do it. Right? Yeah. Okay. So did you do it? I don't remember. No, yes or no. Anyway,
have that conversation with Quinn.
Yeah, this is multiple choice. This is a yes or no. Did you or did you?
And I'm just like, listen. I tried to explain to him. I'm like, listen. I'm not. You're going to get punished for lying.
Yes.
At this point.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, listen. Daddy doesn't care that you threw something up there at this point. At this point, Daddy needs to know if I 3D print those, are they going to hold? Because if they don't hold, they could break, and then your proton pack could break. So Daddy needs to know, do I need to re-engineer these to hold more weight?
Yeah.
Did you do it or not? We went around a couple more times. Well, we finally get to the point where, like, I don't think he did. And I go in there, and I look at the other one. I take the other one off the hooks, and I just kind of, like, grab it, and I'm just like, a little bit of pressure, and I'm like, okay. I'm guessing what happened is it probably just, it gave out. So I'm going to go ahead and redesign it anyway. But I'm just like, well, that's a half an hour of my life I won't get back.
We had that.
I can't remember what it was about.
No,
but it was something silly, and it was like, Quinn, did you do this? And well, I don't know. I don't remember. It was like, okay, now you look guilty Now you look like you've done it and you're trying to get out of trouble.
Yeah.
So you're going to get in more trouble if you lie to me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if you did it or not. We'll deal with that. You won't get into trouble because I remember not being a big deal. So I said, you won't get into trouble if you've done it or if you didn't do it. It doesn't matter. But if you lie to me and I find out that you lied to me, then you're going to get into trouble.
Yep.
And then it came out that I think he had done whatever it was that we suspected him of, and he was just trying to stay out of trouble.
He didn't want to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, it's...
And we kept telling him that we're like, Nick. We're like, Nick, you're not in trouble for this, and by saying I don't know, you look guilty. Mommy and Daddy think you're guilty now.
Yes. Like,
speaking of Mommy, it sounds like Mommy's home.
Hi, Mommy.
Waiting for her to. Okay, yeah, that was the door. So the next thing, I didn't start 3D printing it today. I'm waiting to do it till after the show because it's like an 8-hour print. But I'm printing interlinked. There she is. I'm printing interlinked chainmail.
Okay.
So that I can demonstrate that. I'm trying to find things that I can demonstrate, like I said, at the little lesson I'm giving next weekend. So,
hi, Christy.
I'll see if she swings by here in a second. So,
throw something at her.
Well, the doors are shut, so I can't.
Yeah.
And my staff is too far away for me to like poke the door with it. So, which, by the way, once I got this shirt and the staff done, I was just like, I know this is stupid, but I'm so excited.
No, it looks really cool.
So Lynette is trying to finish my hat. She's putting a brim on it, and she's like, the brim is too floppy. I'm trying to find something to put in it to make it stiffer, make it stand up more.
Yeah.
So, and what's funny is when after I mounted the ball on top of the staff, I went back and looked at the album cover for the book cover. I say album cover, book cover for the second book, and you clearly see. Now, granted, they depict it as being more rectangular, but you can clearly see the ball is literally just on top of the staff. And I'm just like, okay, good. I'm glad I thought about that instead of like mounting it on the side. So.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna mute this just in case it starts playing. Hang on.
Yeah.
It is. Pause.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Looks like it's just on there.
It's just hot sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, dragon's blood.
Yes, exactly. And I've already, I just put colored water in it thus far. So.
And he has a brim.
Yes. Now he has a brim in all of them, but if you read the book, number one, it's supposed to be powder blue, but on all the album covers, it's not powder blue. And yeah, he doesn't have a brim, but I'm just like, no, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, because if it didn't have a brim, it would look a little dunce cap-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. How are you looking at the weather?
It's only supposed to rain on Thursday. Kids are going to camp tomorrow.
Okay.
We will
for
be
the week
free for a week.
Maybe one day I'll get there.
You know what?
I get bored.
I'm excited for them because I think they're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we were
that's
not
awesome.
bored this week because we are redoing their rooms.
We're redoing their rooms.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah. Did they know about this?
Yes.
Okay.
They picked up their paint colors and stuff.
Interesting.
Needs water.
Did they pick the colors?
Yeah, they picked their room colors.
Cool.
Within
reason, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't have a red room. No, you can't have a black room. No, you can't have an orange room. No, you're not having a yellow room.
What about purple with sparkles?
No. Yeah.
This reminds me, I still need to send this back to Amazon. So, yeah, so I was like, this cork actually fit in the bottle really well. And all the corks that Christy has saved from her wine bottles were too big. And I was like, okay, so I'm sitting there trying to shave them down. And of course, I always cut just a little too deep on one. So, I'd put the cork in and turn it upside down and be a little trickle through. And I'm like, there has to be a way to reduce the size of a cork. So I Googled it, and sure enough, it's like, oh yeah, you do this. Of course, it's this really old drawn way. And I'm like, okay, so people forever have known how to do this. And I'm like,
yes.
So.
What are you doing? Being a weirdo.
Yes.
Who, the pupper?
Wicket.
Wicket's a weirdo. Oh. Come on, Jay. I got work tomorrow.
All right. I'm going to message him real quick and just say, You
said a few.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 20.
All right.
That's a good airtime there. We're all looking at our phone. That's
Yep.
Well, I put a quick link on all the shows now because I don't edit them. I don't edit the video down anymore, so that the chat stays there. And I just put a link there, so it literally says show start, and you can click it, and it'll go right there. So I have a feeling most people probably do that. But okay, now it says Jason Horn's online.
Can you add me, Gene? Okay. Hey, there he is.
Oh, fuck.
What's up, buddy?
All right, well, that's a start.
Does the audio sound really bad?
Yeah. Fuck. Where are you calling us from? Are you calling us from the 2000s?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I got a fan going in the background. I can cut that off if I need to, but I don't know how the rest of the audio sounds.
It just kind of sounds like you're calling in from a phone. But
well, my normal headset I don't have. I only have the little Bluetooth one at the moment.
Okay, well, we can deal with it.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can at least hear you. So, alrighty. Let's see here. All right. With that said, I think we've talked about something funny enough to be on the intro. We'll figure. We'll see. I guess we'll just have to re-listen to it. So, yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and get the intro going, and we'll get started. Muting the mics.
You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 99. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, which of these foods that were discontinued in the aughts, aka the 2000s, would you bring back? A, McDonald's fried apple pies. They still have apple pies, but they're not fried anymore. B, chicken fries from Burger King. C, Hi-C Ecto Cooler. Or D, Butterfinger BBs. Do I need to explain any of these? All right. Chris.
I don't think I ate any of those.
No, we had one.
Which one did we have?
We had the pie before.
Have we?
Oh, yeah.
So that maybe. I don't remember eating it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, do any of these sound decent? Like, are any of these things that you'd actually want to try?
The other three don't sound very good.
Okay. Ray?
The pie.
The
Absolutely. Pie. Deep fried pie is delicious.
Yes. Yes, it is. I haven't had one of their pies in forever. I mean, they're still good, but they're not like they used to be. Yeah.
They're healthy.
Oh yeah.
You have to put on there because just leaving it as healthy is not going to quite cut it. Jay, which of those four would you want to bring back?
I would have to say the Ecto Cooler because that's the only one I remember actually liking.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, what's funny is they did bring it back in 2016 for a short period of time. Everybody was excited because, the new movie was coming out and they're bringing back Ecto Cooler, and then they discontinued it again. It's like, you fuckers. But because they sold out. They were constantly sold out of it. I'm like, why did y'all not continue it? So
that being said, I do like Butterfinger. So
I do too.
I like
Butterfingers. I don't like the BBs. I like their new Butterfinger peanut butter ones that they got.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good.
They're amazing, but BBs I guess didn't like.
What about yourself, Eugene? Which one would you choose?
Which one would I choose? Let's see here. So, I mean, like I said, the pies are still good. They're not fried. They don't quite taste like they used to. The chicken fries, I never tried. I mean, I'm assuming it's just basically a long chicken finger, which, whatever. There are other Butterfinger things that I do prefer. So I would definitely have to say I would bring back the Hi-C Ecto Cooler. Yes, I do have some cans of this left, and I am rationing them. So let me just see here. Those
are the original Ecto Coolers.
They taste a little different. They're 150 calories, 41 grams of sugar.
Woo!
So, yeah, it's sweet. Like, Christy's tried it, and she goes, wow, that's sweet. I'm like, yeah, that is.
I honestly think I haven't taken in that much sugar total since, like, February.
I know, right? Well, yeah, I've been doing the keto thing, too. I know I've probably had a little more than you have, but, yeah, not like that's probably my whole week right there in one can.
Wow.
I may take in just in my food, odd and end things that are like in the food and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 a day if that.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it down as low as I possibly can. So, but we're not talking about the keto diet tonight.
No, we're not.
I don't even know if we have a show for that. I don't know if that would fit anywhere. But what we are talking about is 2000s pop culture, which I guess fad diets could fit into that because there were a lot of fad diets that came out.
Diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
South Beach.
Oh yeah, South Beach. And of course, I guess you'd say the grandfather to the keto diet would be the Atkins diet. So, but that being said, so yeah, we're talking about 2000s pop culture. Does anyone have an area that they'd like to start off with?
Why don't we start music since Laney's not here, and we'll just get that one out of the way.
Surely we can hit music. All right, go.
All right. Hey, jerk, whatever. Yeah. So the bands that I remember listening to, and so I kind of went through this pretty quickly, and so I'll just throw these out there. So Eminem, obviously, I listened to Usher as well, and Outkast, Coldplay, the White Stripes. They got big at that point. Green Day actually released a really great album in the 2000s. U2 also did.
Yeah,
I think I said Pink, and then one that's rung with me in the 2000s, and I still love to this day is Johnny Cash, "Hurt." Such a great cover. And that got me on to listening to more of that kind of stuff. So it was a big mix of everything. Like there was, you name it, and I was interested in it one way or another, minus the country, except for I'd say Johnny Cash. That'd be the only thing.
Some of the ones that I had, I basically went through and looked at top list or whatever. So some of the ones that I wrote down, Gorillaz, loved some of the stuff that the Gorillaz put out. Lady Gaga, kind of blew up at that time period. Like you said, Pink, U2. I mean, U2's been around for a long time, but they were kicking ass again in 2000. Beyonce really took off. Like you said, Outkast. this was also the time. This was, I mean, granted, there were boy bands beforehand, but this was the big time. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees. Like you said, Eminem really took off. Britney Spears, freaking Madonna. Like,
she came back. Yeah.
She came back, from the 80s. I mean, she didn't really necessarily go away in the 90s, but like she came back with a vengeance in the 2000s. J-Lo got really big at this time.
Yeah.
And Daft Punk. Now, I'm okay with some of the newer Daft Punk stuff, but I prefer the older Daft Punk stuff. And it kills me whenever I love Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear that garbage that what's his face put out, it kills me every time, because I'm just like, you don't know the good version. So I'm being old man Eugene on that one, because I mentioned it to someone and they're like, do you like this song? I'm like, yeah, the original. So
get back when they didn't do anything to it.
That's right. Chris, anyone you want to add?
Yeah, I got some Canadian ones that Canadian artists.
Yay, Canada.
Fit in the aughts. So there's Chantal Kraviatzik.
Oh, yeah.
She's really fantastic.
Totally forgot about her.
Yeah, Jack Soul, unfortunately, he passed away in 2008. He had a lung issue or something. Nelly Furtado. And our answer to the boy band was Soul Decision and the Moffats, who were like the Canadian version of the Hansons. They were all brothers, and then my sister went to one of their concerts. Anyway,
they sucked.
Sure. Chauclair is a rapper. Tegan and Sarah, they're really great. Sam Roberts, Alexis on Fire, and City in Color.
Yeah,
Feist, she's really great. Feist is awesome. Avril Lavigne.
Oh yeah.
Can't forget about Avril.
Carly Rae Jepsen actually was on Canadian Idol in the late aughts, and she
really,
she released an album like 2008 or 2010. But Call Me Maybe was after that. Yeah. Michael Bublé.
Oh yeah. Now hang on a minute. I don't like Michael Bublé's music. Okay, like he is what he is, and that's fine. It's
croony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being said, I love that he is an entertainer, and that he actually there's videos of him bringing people on stage, and there's one in particular where this mom begs, just tells Michael to allow her kid to sing. And he's like, well, fuck it, we've gone this far, bring him up. And so they bring him up on stage, and if you haven't seen it, go see it, because it's
the kid can actually sing.
The kid actually sings, and he's like, he makes fun of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, and then Justin Bieber.
Sorry, but he's yours, not ours.
Oh, yeah. Well,
No.
Anyway.
No. Listen, we made the deal that whoever won the gold medal lost Bieber, and we won the gold medal for the.
Fair enough.
So you guys get Bieber.
Has he really been around that long?
Yeah, his first.
He's a little shit.
Would you let me finish?
No.
You're being really like.
Well, no, there's a section on one of the podcasts I listened to, Kevin Smith's Hollywood Babylon, and they actually have a segment in there with Justin Bieber news, and it's just Justin Bieber's a cunt. Is the name of the section.
Lovely.
You have it.
He's Canadian. I mean, you can't get around it. He was born in Ontario. Like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where we live.
Yes, but a true Canadian would not spit on their fans.
That's
true. Well, he did come from YouTube, so.
Yes, and that was in the late aughts.
Yes.
That
you also got to add in stuff like System of a Down.
Mm-hmm.
Toxicity came out in 2001. Slipknot's Iowa came out in 2001. Tool, if you like Tool, they came. Lateralis, I think, came out in 2001. So I mean, a lot of good music. If you're into hard rock, the metal, Avenged Sevenfold. They got real big early 2000s, and a lot of Linkin Park stuff like Numb.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Disturbed, Down with the Sickness came out at the beginning of the 2000s. I mean, there was I'm more of a a heavy rock and heavy metal person, so there was a lot of good stuff on that.
Yeah, there's it's one of those things. It's one of the, but I'm like Ray, where it's like, you know, certain decades kind of like gravitated to certain types of music, and 2000 just seemed like it was all over the place, which I love that because it's more, you know, the democratization of it. It's like, oh, hey, listen, you like this? That's cool. That can be in, and this can be in, and this can be in, and this can be in. And I'm sure, you know, the music industry didn't really care for it because, not to jump ahead, but, you know, everybody was like, oh, hey, look, I can download this for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but on the other hand, on the flip side of that, though, this was also the digital revolution for music where, you know, people used to trade tapes and used to, you know, do trade recordings and stuff, you know, hard to find stuff for stuff that was never actually put out for public consumption. I know the Grateful Dead were like, Deadites are huge on that. They're like, oh yeah, they did this song on this concert, never actually recorded it, and this, that, and the other. And I've got a copy of it, and they used to trade it and stuff. And cause I would find stuff, you know, yes, I'd be looking for, you know, some different music or whatever. And I'd find, you know, you'd type in a song and you'd see all these different versions come up, and you're just like, I didn't know they did a cover of that or whatever. And you listen to it, and a lot of it might be garbage, but every so often you find one, you're like, wow, that was really good.
Incubus. I remember Incubus did, now we're touching the 90s a bit here, but I remember Incubus did one, and then they released, they did an acoustic version of Pardon Me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on like MTV or something like that, but you could download it. I remember downloading it and getting it, and I was like, it was so awesome. It was this acoustic version of an Incubus song that I loved, and it was just that different. And so yeah, that was actually 2001, 2000 that I got that one because I was in college.
Yeah, of the ones that we've listed, I've only been to one concert for them. I'm not a big concert person, that being said, but yeah, I was still dating Christy, and, you know, we were pretty serious, and she got tickets and wanted to know if I'd go. And of course, I'm just like, sure, I'll go. You know, we're dating, you know, do the dating thing.
Yeah.
So we went down to Houston and went to an NSYNC concert. I will say this. They put on a really good show. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on. I couldn't hear for 2 days afterwards. And it wasn't from the speakers, and it wasn't from their singing. It was from the oceans of girls just screaming. And I'm like, you can't even fucking hear the song.
It doesn't matter. They're here.
Oh,
breathe the same air as them.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I like this song. Can y'all please shut up so I can? This is one of the few ones I like. Can I actually listen to this one? No? Okay, fine, whatever.
My mom told me a story about when she went to New Kids on the Block with my sister. So we were, you know, back to the 90s. Sorry, but she put earplugs in, and she said she enjoyed the show because it blocked out the girls, and it blocked out, like, my sister didn't get to really hear much because she heard the screaming, but it like settled down the tone so she could actually hear the music, and she enjoyed herself.
Well, there you go. Yeah, had I known, I would have done that. I would have bought because I would have been like, listen, I'm not trying to diss on your music or anything, or the fact that we're here. I'm literally trying to protect my hearing because I had a ringing for 2 days afterwards. I'm just like, this was up. So, well, let's move on. I'm gonna go ahead and well, you said music. Chris, what would you like to go to next?
I only did 3 categories, so
okay.
TV.
All right, let's hit TV.
I have Friends because it ended in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
The Office, which I actually didn't start watching until we got Netflix, and it was already done.
It was already done. Man, what a great show.
Buffy ended in 2004, I think, or 5. But that's when Angels
took off. Yes.
Yep.
Freaks and Geeks, which ended in 2000, which it was only 1 season. I love that show.
I've never seen it.
Really, it's really, really good.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Lost. which I
yeah.
It's a love-hate thing with Lost.
Yep.
Firefly.
Oh, yes.
That's not even. I love that.
Yep.
Glee started in 2008, which I was a big Glee
Oh, yes.
at the beginning, and then it went weird. House. We loved watching House.
House is probably one of my favorite shows, especially from that era. Like, it was... I
loved House.
Yeah, the sarcastic, fantastic...
I like the take on Sherlock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fringe, which we have watched twice throughout and have never seen the end of.
Nope.
Both times.
Still haven't got to the end of Fringe.
I'm not sure why.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, haven't. And then Futurama. Those are the ones I had down.
Oh, yes. I adored I still adore Futurama.
Yeah. So that's all the ones I had. That's all I could think of.
Let's see. I had quite a few on this one. A lot of these I didn't even watch. The Sopranos, I know was huge. Never got into The Sopranos. A show that I absolutely hated was Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, I only saw a couple of those. I never really watched
I hated, and the reason I hated that show was the mother. I think the mother on that show is horrible. Do you realize CSI started in the 2000s?
Yeah, I got it written down.
There's like 15 versions of that show. It's still going strong. I'm just like, wow, it seems like it'd be older than that. But another show that seems like it'd be older than it is now, Survivor. I remember getting into Survivor for a couple of seasons.
And that one and Big Brother started like
They started at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got into Big Brother more than I did Survivor. And I loved Big Brother for quite a while and finally gave up on it because it seemed like every season they changed the rules and they were purposely just trying to get the most awful people they could. And yeah, I finally gave up on it. So
yeah, we've watched Survivor every season since it started.
A show that I watched on and off, not like I'd catch it if it was on, but I didn't specifically look out for it was Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Which is a crazy ass animated show that was on Adult Swim. Let's see here. Like you said, Big Brother, The Wire, I never got into. I did not get into Arrested Development until much later, and then, of course, fell in love with it. 30 Rock, I adore.
I love 30 Rock.
30 Rock has some of the best characters ever. Like you said, Lost, Scrubs. I loved when it first came out.
Yep.
And then the last season or two was just horrid. I never got into 24. I know a lot of people were really big into it when it first started and kind of said it kind of petered out as well. The Office, Mad Men, never got into. A lot of people were in love with it. How I Met Your Mother. Christy and I loved that show, and we jumped off the last season or two. And then I've talked to people, of course, how it wrapped up, and a lot of people were like, well, you didn't miss anything.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Let's see here. The Shield. Modern Family actually started in the late 2000s. I cannot believe it's been on that long.
Wow.
But it has. And Christy and I still love that to this day. We also really liked 2.5 Men when it was on for a while there.
Yes. Before Charlie Sheen went...
Lost his damn mind. House, Monk was another big Breaking Bad. Like you said, Glee. Parks and Rec, one of the best sitcoms ever made.
Ever.
I think that show stayed strong the entire run.
It did, yes. And it had best series finales.
Yeah.
Yes. Sons of Anarchy started in the late 2000s. I never got into it, but I've heard a ton of people who love it.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Colbert Report started. That's when Stephen Colbert's career really took off.
I got it recently.
Go on.
Did you watch Deal or No Deal?
Yes.
I remember that being like that's very that era, and my dad would he wanted to be on that show. And
oh yeah.
It was hilarious because at the arcade in the little town that they live in, they actually have a Deal or No Deal where you can get tickets, and so if you swipe your card and you play the game, you can get that amount of tickets. And he loved playing it it's hilarious watching it.
That's awesome. I had a few more. Community started out great. And kind of petered out at the very end there, but I still enjoyed it. American Dad started back then. I loved it when it first started and then just fell off. Big Bang also started back then. Liked it. Loved it when it first started. Fell off of it. The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that one season he did
The
that?
one season, and I still think they didn't give him
No.
a fair enough shake. That being said, I really like Fallon as the host of the Tonight Show. I like what he's done with the show.
Yeah.
It's a good balance, especially since we have Colbert doing CBS, and the fact that they're friendly with each other and riff off of each other, I think, kind of covers the whole spectrum.
People are political, and Fallon stays away from
more
it.
like, yeah. Fallon's interviews are okay. It's the goofy little other things that he does that I like so much. Like when he plays the games and stuff is hilarious.
And I love Colbert's interviews because he asks some questions and stuff like that. The one that I love as well though is James Corden and I on the late night.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know, but we're talking about it anyway. Sheesh. Because tie into that was Jay Leno actually. I don't know if you saw the promo, but Jay Leno trained James Corden, and that was freaking hilarious.
Let's see. Like you said, Firefly and NCIS technically started then too, and that's another show that's freaking had like multiple spinoffs, and it's still going strong. So, Ray, anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, MasterChef was one that we watched.
Oh wow,
we used to watch it.
Haven't watched a lot. Weakest Link. I still have that one in my head.
Oh my God, yes.
Top Gear. I can't go without talking about Top Gear. That's one of my favorite shows. Or it was until they left, and now it's the Grand Tour. X Factor. I remember loving watching the X Factor and I wanted to be on it.
Really?
Because they did those stunts, and you'd have to like go and do stunts. But I was terrified that I'd have to like eat a bull testicle or something.
Fear Factor, sweetie.
Nope, it was X Factor.
It was X Factor?
Yeah, it was X Factor as well.
Oh, yeah, did all that.
And then so a couple Canadians. Rick Mercer.
Well, the Rick Mercer Report.
The Rick Mercer Report is friggin' hilarious.
Yeah.
He's based out of Toronto, and he goes on rants sometimes, and he touches it. He's kind of like our Stephen Colbert.
Yes, he goes on.
Yeah, you've mentioned him before.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
Corner Gas was a big one up here. I never got into it, but it was so popular that they actually have made a cartoon of it now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool. The last one, of course, is
the reboot.
The reboot of the Ninth Doctor being introduced in 2005.
I completely forgot that I didn't even have that on there, and I did not get into Doctor Who until much later. I didn't actually get into it until the next Doctor came along, and then I picked up right from there and just kept going. And honestly, I dropped off after Matt Smith, and I have not watched any of what's his name?
Peter Capaldi. Now
Capaldi, yeah.
He's left as well now. So we watched half of his stuff.
Yeah.
We missed his last season for sure.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
We haven't watched any of the new stuff at all yet. I want to though.
I do too. Like I don't know if it was just something about Capaldi that just.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it wasn't Capaldi. Capaldi himself was fine. I think the issue was they never really paired him with the proper companion, and it just. And
I hear she just was not written well. Like
Clara wasn't.
I didn't like how she started, but I think she should have finished with Matt Smith and Capaldi get a new person,
But yes, and supposedly we're gonna have two companions now. We're like going way back, and I'm just like, all right, cool, let's go, let's see what happens.
Well, Matt Smith had two for a little bit there. He had
true.
Amelia Pond and Rory.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about Rory at first, and then I fell in love with Rory, and then of course had my heart broken when all that happened. So.
You know what? It was a good end.
Yeah.
I'll stick with it. Like, yeah, I'm okay with it because why not?
Yep. Jay, anything else you want to add on that one?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, we skimmed over The Shield, which was a gritty series.
I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, I love that. And, he went on to make Sons of Anarchy, which I loved as well. Smallville, as much shit as people talk about that. I really loved Smallville.
I've heard good things.
Scrubs is good until the last couple seasons. I don't count those.
Yeah.
Robot Chicken. I love Robot Chicken.
Yes.
Things like South Park and My Family, actually, our Family Guy started in the late 90s, but got big in the early 2000s.
Yep.
IT Crowd, 2006.
Oh my God! How did I leave the IT Crowd off? That is still one of my favorite TV series ever.
I was wondering how you forgot that. A show that started in '99 but carried on to the 2000s was Oz on HBO. That was gritty as shit and great. It was kind of weird seeing the voice actor for Yellow M&M be a Nazi, rapist there, but it's one thing. Of course, my British TV shows, I like Sherlock, Luther. Both of those are great.
Sherlock back in the 2000s?
Yeah, it started in 2010, I think.
Yeah, so it would have been right until
2008, because Luther started the same year with Idris Elba in it.
Yeah.
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives started in middle of the 2000s with Guy Fieri. So there's a British show called My Family that's fucking about a very dysfunctional family. It's hilarious as shit, though. And then a couple that I threw in because they're just kind of reminiscent or bring me back to watching with my kids was iCarly and Drake and Josh.
Oh yeah.
So I watch those a lot with my older two kids, and Drake and Josh are still pretty damn funny whenever I catch it here and there.
Well, since you're bringing up, some of the younger kids stuff, I'm going to segue right into some of the cartoons from the 2000s. Now, a lot of these I was older and really wasn't watching, but they still had a huge impact. Fairly Odd Parents, I know, was really big. I would catch from time to time the Justice League, which was really well done. DC knows how to do an animated series. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're movies. Samurai Jack, I would watch on and off. A TV show that I'm currently watching now with my boys and did not watch back then, Clone Wars. Clone Wars is phenomenal. It is so good.
And they're bringing it back for one more season.
Yes, and I cannot my brother was vibrating. He was so excited when they announced that. He's just like, you've got to get caught up. You've got to watch that because this is going to be so good. I'm like, okay. The original Teen Titans, my boys watch Teen Titans Go now, and they actually make reference to the Teen Titans original show. That had a huge following, apparently. Like you said, Robot Chicken. Another series I didn't watch then that my boys have picked up that I've actually grown to love as an adult is Phineas and Ferb. That is so hilarious, even as an adult.
Hey, and so there is a tie-in to Doctor Who with that. So
I'm gonna have to check that out. And then probably one of the greatest series ever written, ever animated, ever done. Avatar: The Last Airbender. That is hands down one of the best storylines ever committed to film. It's gorgeous to watch. It's so good.
So I've never watched The Last Airbender cartoon series. Now, my introduction was unfortunately the movie. That being said, I know. That being said, though, I do remember watching the movie and be like, okay, well, I'm curious where the story's going to go. And of course, I never found out. But we did watch the movie with Quinn, and he was interested. Like, he got into it, and he's like, "Oh, okay, so what's going on?" And I said, "Well, that doesn't show the whole story." But the reason why I started with that was I wanted to set the bar really low, so that way we can get into the actual the actual cartoon and stuff like that. So the animated series. So I'm curious. I am interested in watching the animated series.
There are definitely some more. There are some episodes that are definitely more, geared towards kids, but kind of like the throwaway episode or whatever. But a lot of it, especially when they start animating and kind of like going in depth as to how you can use these bending powers along with the martial arts that goes along with it, like, the earthbenders will they'll hammer their foot down and this chunk of block will fly up and then they'll proceed to like roundhouse kick it at their adversary. And I'm just like, that's fucking awesome. But yeah, and they even kind of go into like everyone has their main power. And then like when you get really good at it, you can even start doing additional stuff to it. And it's just, oh God, that series is so good.
Going back to Phineas and Ferb, Nick Frost and Simon Pegg did Shaun of the Dead and Phineas and Ferb in one episode.
Are you serious? I haven't come across that one yet.
Yeah, I think it's on YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Speaking of which, I have not watched the trailer yet, but do you see our boys have a new movie coming out?
No,
Jay?
I haven't seen that one either.
It's something about like a horror. It's a horror movie set at a girls' school or something like that. And I was like, and then I saw it's, Frost and Peg, and I'm like, oh nope, I'm in. So, but yeah. So, all right. So, moving on. Is there any, Ray, back to you? Anything in particular else you want to hit real quick?
You know what? I like talking about the news, and there's a couple of key things that happened in 2000. So I'll just throw these 4 things out real quick.
All right.
Newsworthy, Y2K. I know it was 99, but it did happen in 2000.
Yeah,
it's going to end.
But my favorite part was the next morning. I remember reading an article in my dad's newspaper because that's what you did back then. I remember reading an article that somewhere in the States, I don't remember where, but they actually had a blackout that happened almost immediately at midnight.
Uh-huh.
And so the whole town lost power for a couple of hours, and they thought that the Y2K was actually happening. And so people were actually freaking out. And
I would have freaked the fuck out.
So
the night of that year, I specifically stayed in my apartment. I bought extra food and supplies, not because I was afraid the computers were all going to go to shit.
No.
I was afraid of all the other idiots that were going to do shit. Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't afraid about the computers. It was all the idiots I was afraid of. So
yeah,
but yeah.
2003 SARS was a big thing. It's huge.
Yeah.
And just terrifying. 44 people passed away in Toronto area in Ontario. Of course, September 11th. We talked about it today at work. We were talking about where we were, and it's that comes up every once in a while. And there's moments that happen, and you can tell the story of exactly where you were when you found out. So,
yep.
Yeah. So, and then the last one that hit home a little bit closer to home
literally
home for us. 24th of May in 2000, the E. coli crisis in Walkerton, which was a small town where Chris lived at the time.
Yeah.
I think it was 9 people passed away because of it.
Half the town got sick, which was a town of just about 5,000. So about 2,500 people got sick. And most of them elderly, but a 2-year-old and a middle-aged person passed away because it affected their kidneys so bad everything just shut down.
I got sick from it.
Ray got sick
because I was visiting her at the time, and my mom always told me, she's a nurse, and so if you feel sick, drink lots of water, flush it out of your system. So I was downing the water, just trying to drink as much as I could to flush it out, not knowing that I was making it so much worse.
Yeah.
And I was off school and work for a couple of weeks. Like it was horrible.
Yeah, we were out of school for 2 weeks. It was my last year of high school, and they weren't sure if we were going to graduate because they didn't know when they could get us back into.
They should have started shipping them to another school in another town.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2000. All you have to do is type in Walkerton.
The Walkerton water tragedy.
And yeah, so the fallout from that was the brothers were falsifying records.
The brothers who ran the water treatment center.
Yeah.
Because Walkerton was fed by 7 wells, and there was farm runoff from a neighboring farm and got into the water system. And the brothers that were in charge of testing the water to make sure it was fine, were falsifying records
for years.
Yeah. So.
And anyway, so one went to jail, the other one.
Their lives were ruined, essentially.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you hit the big one. I'll never forget that home at night. I went and waited in line to get gas and was like, man, if gas doubles in price, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive to school and finish my degree, because if it doubles in price from 99 cents a gallon, I'm like, you idiot. But yeah, 99 cents a gallon before 2001. So, yep. So,
yeah.
Okay. Are we done with the cartoons? I got some to add in there.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Jake.
Jake.
Give it on a positive spin.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of these, I just enjoyed watching with my kids. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was one that my son still loves to watch.
Cool.
Invader Zim. Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, yeah.
Was another big one. Monsters Home of Imaginary Friends. The Kids Next Door, codenamed Kid Next Door, and the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy were the real big ones at our house.
I remember seeing several of these pop up in some of the searches that I was doing that I was like, I don't know this one, but apparently they were pretty big then. So.
Well, I was just sitting there talking with my son and my oldest daughter about doing the podcast, and like I had missed the last couple. And I was like, well, this is more, your guys' time frame as far as cartoons and shit. And we were just like naming off shit, like right off the top of our heads of stuff we used to watch. And these are the ones that just came right out. Just now there is stuff, obviously, like Rugrats ran from the 90s into the 2000s.
Yep.
Just until recently. SpongeBob started in 99. And still runs, and I mean, I enjoy SpongeBob, so
it's got a good opening theme. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And Jackie Chan. I like that Jackie Chan cartoon. I don't know why.
I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
But I used to watch it if it popped on and there was like nothing else on TV, and it entertained my son, and I think he was like 3 or 4th time that it came out, so it was worth just sitting down watching it with him as long as he behaved.
Well, I've got a couple more categories here. Before we get into those, let's hit the fashion, because we've kind of been hitting the fashion. So, the women's fashion for the early 2000s, I had Y2K fashion, which was apparently flashy, really kind of sexy, casual chic, crop top hoodies, low rise stuff. And this was the first part of the 80s revival. And then mid 2000s was 60s revival. And then the late 2000s was back to the 80s. And I was just like,
it was a hot mess.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was, none of it was good. Stuff.
For the men, it was also Y2K stuff, leisure wear. Mid was 60s revival, retro movie inspired, and business suits. And then late was throwback to the 50s and the 80s, and something that some people loved, some people hated. Ed Hardy was a big thing in the 2000s.
That was so ugly.
Yeah. Oh. Anything else y'all want to throw fashion wise? Like you said, it was kind of all over the map.
So over. I just remember feeling really cool having a pair of low rise jeans, and they were so tight, but they like over my ass. But they were so popular.
Hell, I was dressing then the same way I am now, just basketball shorts and a t-shirt. I mean.
I'm not far off from what I was dressing. The open button down t-shirt, right? Make sure it was open. And of course I had hair then, so that was nice.
So did I.
A little.
Yeah, so the spiked up look with the frosted tops and
Oh yeah.
I never had the frosted, but
I did the frosted tops.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I went to a big mom wearing phase. Like I had Logan when I was in 2006, and it was a big like. Now I have to dress like a mom, except I didn't know what that meant, and I just wound up wearing the most frumpy crap. Oh, it was awful. A lot of Empire Waist stuff. It was just bad.
Some of the biggest toys from 2000. Do you remember the Razor scooter craze?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like people like that was the hot toy like 2000, 2001, something like that, and like every store was sold out of it. I'm like, it's just a scooter, but then what's the deal? Bratz dolls took off, and of course I immediately looked at it and thought, wow, these look like little hussies.
Have you seen the woman redo those dolls?
You've mentioned it, but I don't remember.
Okay, so if you get a chance, YouTube it. She'll literally take alcohol, like she wipes the face clean, and she repaints the Bratz dolls, and they look like normal dolls afterwards. And
they're just creepy.
No, but they don't look creepy afterwards.
I'll
show you before and after. But yeah, before they look wrong.
Yeah. Juju pets. I don't remember those. They were like a hamster or whatever. Beyblades. I don't remember those.
Oh, I do.
I was gonna say your kids were probably right age for that.
Oh, I bought a shitload of Beyblades for my son, and I mean, you could like mix and match. They had different weights for the blades. Different shapes, different sizes, so they'd spin for different durations. Some were built for more speed, while some were more just heavier, so they impacted harder. And oh yeah, and I mean, you could get those fuckers to fly, and they'd launch off some of the little tracks or pits that they had that you'd like shoot your Beyblade into. I don't know how many times one of those things like flew up and hit me, and I mean, it's a little lead weight.
Yeah.
and I was like, son of a bitch, and people bitched about yard darts for us, or the lawn darts.
Oh yeah.
We're just launching lead weights at kids with these.
No shit.
They still got them. Quinn was obsessed with them at school this past year. A bunch of kids had brought their Beyblades in, and they set them up.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They're big. They're big
again. Yeah, they're big again.
Something else that I remember being really big for 1 year and then died off, and then you could find them everywhere, were the Robo Sapiens. They were there was like a humanoid robot, and it's like white plastic, and like the joints were black, and then there was a Velociraptor, and that was the one that was really popular, was the Velociraptor or whatever. So but that's all I could find. Like a lot of it was just carryover stuff or redos of previous toys or whatever. So
the Nintendo DS came out in the early 2000s, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, moving into video games. Yeah, that was the thing was, when I was looking up biggest toys for certain years, and a lot of the 2000 decade was like literally like PlayStation 3 1 year, followed by the Wii, followed by our PlayStation 2, followed by the Wii, followed by the Xbox 360. Like, that was like 3 years right in a row. Those were the big things. But yeah, video game wise, we got the PlayStation 2, we got the Xbox, we got the Nintendo Wii. Also within that decade, we got the PlayStation 3. We got the GameCube.
We got iPods.
We got the Game Boy Advance. I loved my Game Boy Advance. Let's see here. Lainey's wanting to jump on real quick. Let's see if I can log her in real quick. I don't.
Oh no, it's too late.
Does anyone remember the N-Gage?
Yep.
Briefly.
That was horrible. It was, you basically held it like, it was okay. I understand it played games, but you had to take the battery out to change the game. And then you like talked into it like you were holding a taco. It was horrible.
What is that? What is the N-Gage? I've never even heard of that.
It was
a system thingy, or
it was who was that? Was that
if it was Microsoft, then that explains.
No, it was it was a phone manufacturer that started it. Who was that?
I don't think it was Nokia.
Nokia.
Yeah,
Nokia. Yeah, because it was Nokia's N-Gage. Yeah, that was their whole thing. They were like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna make a video game system," and like I said, to pull the cartridge out to change the game, you literally had to take the battery out, and it's just like, who designed this? This was the stupidest fucking thing.
The first model iPod came out, I think, in 2000. 2000
yes.
or 2001.
I was getting there. PlayStation Portable came out. The Nintendo DS came out. I still have a DS. I actually have a DSi, but yeah, man, we had a lot of good game systems come out then. I remember getting my PlayStation 2. I waited in line for it, and managed to just barely get one the next day. Had to wait hours in front of a Kmart, the one place no one would have thought to go to get one. And then I had a GameCube, and I really stopped playing. I sold my PlayStation 2. I stopped playing games because I was married and I was doing my master's program, and I didn't have time for anything else. And that was the thing. Whenever I finished my master's, I was like, well, for a present, can I get a 360? And I ended up getting a 360, and that's how I hooked back up with Cyrus. Literally, a friend of ours was like, "Hey, do you remember this guy named Cy? He was in college with us." I'm like, "Yes." And the first night I talked to him, we literally played a game. We were in the lobby of the game, and then we literally just sat there and talked for 4 hours, just catching up over the last decade. So, but yes, what you were saying, Jay, yes, this was when the first iPod came out. I never had an iPod. I was one of those that was just like, well, I don't listen to a lot of music. Why would I need one of these? And it cost way too much money.
They're handy. So yeah, we got
an iPod Touch.
We have an iPod Touch somewhere around here. It's still here. It doesn't work anymore. Mm-hmm. I did have one of the iPod Nanos that I got from work. Mm-hmm. But the one that I wanted, and I knew it was. I know people actually, they make fun of it all the time, but it's actually come out that it was actually a very good product. The Zune, Microsoft Zune, came out, and it actually was a really good product.
I have only seen two in the wild, and I took a picture of one because I'm like, oh my god, I spotted one.
Fucking Zune, yeah. No, I had one in my hand, and I remember looking at it like, I should buy this. And I wish I would have. Hi, Lainey.
Hey,
Lainey. Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Great.
That my first. What? Yeah. Where are you at?
I'm driving.
Okay.
No, you're on the side of the road being safe.
Yes, I'm on the side of the road being safe, but I'm in my vehicle. How's that?
Yeah, all right. We'll go with that.
Beautiful.
The first iPod I ever got was a shuffle. And I thought that was awesome. In fact, I still have it, and it's the clip one. Would kind of the whole thing was kind of like a clip.
I had one of those, and I used to use it when I would go running early in the morning, and then I finally got a real iPod.
Yeah. And then for I think Christmas or my birthday, I was listening to podcast on it, which was kind of hard because it was a shuffle, so it was kind of hard finding the episodes. But anyway. Yeah. I would do that, and then I got Christy got me a iPod video. So it wasn't the full screen was video. It still had the wheel on the bottom, but it had, it would play video on the top, and that's when video podcast started being a big thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The iPhone came out, and I was also like, why would I want this? It looks really cool, but why would I want this? And then completely changed the game. I remember Google really started in 2000. What now?
There were analysts that were saying that that's the end of Apple.
Yeah, I remember that. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, okay, guys, it's cool. Have fun."
Yeah, one of the funniest things you can do is go look up analyst reviews or comments or whatever after they announced the iPod. Because some of the shit that they were coming up with, it was just like, this will never fly. Why would anyone want to listen to MP3s like this? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, God, you guys didn't know.
AKA everyone all the time.
You carry thousands of hundreds of songs at a time in a little thing.
Yeah.
All little Lainey ever wanted.
Go on.
It's a dream.
It was Google started in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Windows XP, which even though it's basically like if you put a Windows XP system on the network not behind a router, it literally takes 30 seconds and it's just full of junk. But I liked XP. I was really excited for XP.
XP was the best one after 98 seconds. 98
Yes.
edition was their stable ever.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? I feel like I don't remember XP.
I don't either. I don't remember it.
No, we
Okay,
got it.
I don't feel as dumb then.
Well, you weren't old enough to remember it, Laney.
The primary background was the default background was the green rolling fields with the blue sky.
See, we had like PCs in my school, so I don't have a huge like Mac identity.
This is Windows.
Oh, I don't remember that either.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's funny. I actually just mentioned XP earlier this week. We were talking about. I was on hold, and I was like, "Man, I miss the old hold music for our district." And I was like, "You know what else had really good music? Was the music that played when you installed Windows XP. Go look it up. It's actually it's kind of cool." Facebook and Twitter
to play while he falls asleep.
And Facebook and Twitter both started in the aughts.
So the downfall.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, really? You're still on Facebook and Twitter.
I remember like sitting with Eugene and Christy and talking about Twitter like as a concept and being like, I mean, I don't totally get it, but I guess I'll start one. And like that's how my Twitter got started.
I remember getting Twitter. I'm like, how do I use this? What the hell am I doing? And then somebody explained it to me. It was like, it's like your Facebook status, but everybody can read it. Oh,
exactly. That's exactly how Christy had to explain it to me.
Great. Why do I?
Like, but I hate that too. So why am I doing it?
See, I got into Twitter before I got into Facebook, and what's funny now is I do Facebook more than I do Twitter, and of course, all of the platforms seem to be just completely falling apart at this point. So
yes,
USB flash became a thing. Like
trash.
I remember getting USB drives and just like I was like, God, this is so much easier to carry stuff around.
I can carry a gig on this thing.
Hell yeah!
Dude, that changed like all of college for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had just being able to take it everywhere.
The hard.
Yep.
Actually,
GPS.
oh my God, no!
Oh,
hold on. I got one of those as a graduation present from high school.
Really?
That's what my high school gave out as like graduation gifts. They gave out like thumb drives, and they gave out and like traveling duffel bags or whatever. But like that was the big thing. It was like, yeah, here you go. This will be like cool for you to use in college, and it has like I still have it, and it has my like high school mascot and shit on it. It's like congratulations, class of 2000 whatever. It's pretty cool.
Whatever.
GPS came out in the 2000s, and that was one of those technologies that I just immediately wanted to embrace because I was like, I was listening to podcasts at this time, and I was listening to people, and they're like the best thing ever is whenever I ask people, where do you live? Because I'm coming to visit you, and I don't have to listen to, okay, well, you go down to this street and look for the big red barn, and then you turn left, and then you give me your address. Done.
Yes.
So, of course, and then there were all those people, those people who were trying to like fight it. They're like, oh yeah, well, you heard about the woman that like drove into a lake or whatever. I'm like, well, if you're just going to blindly do what it says.
Dude, if you're dumb enough to drive into a lake like Michael Scott on that one episode of The Office, then there's bigger issues.
I remember so many stories when it first came out, though. That get lost in the woods, and we were going down this dirt road, and it said we would be okay. We had to eat our children, like It's just,
TiVo came out in the 2000s and forever changed television.
Oh,
always wanted
TiVo. I wanted TiVo so bad.
We never got a TiVo.
Wanted it so bad.
Eugene, what did you guys have then?
What?
Oh.
No, we just had a DVR. Like,
that's what
I
we had.
remember y'all having something, and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing."
yeah.
I remember doing my DVR to my dad.
Doing what?
My DVR. I had to explain it to my dad.
Cute.
You're taping on a cassette. I'm like, no, Dad.
I remember that conversation.
It's a hard drive.
Yeah.
What? Computer. There's a hard drive on it. I'm just recording it on that. Well, where do you put the VHS? There is no VHS, Dad. Couldn't get it.
And then another thing that technically started in the 2000s was Wi-Fi. Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because I remember, and like when Wi-Fi started coming out, there was a huge problem because Windows XP did not like to talk on Wi-Fi at first. That was a patch that had to come out. So, which by the way, Richard in the chat room says at least Windows XP was better than ME, and I'm like, yeah, I skipped ME completely.
I don't even know what that is.
Majority of people did. So I was working at a computer store when ME came out. We'd have people come into the store buying new computers, and we would offer them 98-second edition.
Yep.
They would say, "Well, no, I want ME." It's like, no,
you don't.
Tell you what, we'll install it for a week. If you don't like it, bring it back. We're going to reinstall afterwards, but you're going to lose everything. They'd come back.
Yep.
I just remember in the early aughts, like all of the Wi-Fi, like internet in general, it changed so fast. Like it was dial-up to fucking DSL to Wi-Fi. Like it felt like within a year of each other. It happened so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Wi-Fi was pretty stable, but like when I built this house, I specifically wired Ethernet to all of the rooms because I'm like, yeah, Wi-Fi is okay for, looking up things on your phone, but when you really want some speed, and of course now it's fucking just as fast. It's just ridiculous.
Nerd.
The last category that we haven't hit yet is movies. Jay, you still there?
God.
Jay?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
So you didn't hear the background.
Jay, you want to start us off with some movies?
Oh, yeah. Let me take a look at my list here. I got quite a bit. A lot of them, some people don't like. A lot of them, I know people in this room at least will. Pretty much anything with Simon Pegg in it. You had Shaun of the Dead.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God, yes!
Hot Fuzz, World's End. I'm a big Kevin Smith guy, so Jay and Silent Bob and Clerks 2.
Always.
But then you have movies like Snatch, Rock and Rolla with Guy Ritchie, so I like those. Then you had some like really big movies come out, like Batman Begins, The Dark Knight,
that whole
Iron Man, so the official kickoff of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. I mentioned that.
Super Troopers, Fast and the Furious.
I loved Super Troopers.
I've never seen Super Troopers.
What?
No, don't want to do it. Stupid.
Shh.
No, it's hilarious.
It is fucking hilarious.
There's a Canadian scene there drinking maple syrup.
I never disagree with Chris, but I think it's super funny.
The original X-Men movie came out in 2000.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zombieland.
Yeah, I remember that. I love Zombieland.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever watched it. Fanboys.
Yes! Oh my God, I live for Fanboys.
Yep.
That movie is fucking great. That came out in the 2000s.
Read it.
And I'm a big, I've always loved James Bond movies. Casino Royale with Daniel Craig came out in 2006. And I think
let me just say something real quick.
James Bond.
Here's the thing. I've watched a couple of his movies, and I think I finally have come to a good place with myself, and I don't like Daniel Craig as Bond.
Really? I love him as Bond.
The reason
he is a great Bond.
My Bond, what I consider to be Bond, is more lighthearted, a little funnier, and it's just super gritty, and And my brain is not picking
See,
it up.
I
to
like
me,
the more serious.
Same. I feel like he makes more sense to me as Bond because he is more serious. And, like, there's the whole Playboy aspect. But at the same time, at the end of the day, he is focused, like, on the mission. He doesn't have a lot of, like, excess, like, hilarity going on. I like it. I appreciate the seriousness.
To me, he seems, you know, the movies are a lot grittier, a lot more, I guess, believable, I guess, if you want to say it that way. You don't have all the little nifty gadgets and stuff. But he seems like more vulnerable. It's always like he's actually getting physically hurt or emotionally hurt or impacted and stuff like that. So it's a lot more, to me, believable. But I mean, you know, Sean Connery, you know, Pierce Brosnan, you can't hate on any of those.
No.
But yeah, that's probably, I mean, 25 movies that are out right now. And they're all great. I'm just waiting for the next one. And now they're talking about putting Idris Elba in.
Oh my God.
Yes, please.
James Bond.
I can't fucking wait.
I'm perfectly fine with that. He's a great actor.
He's gonna make a great Bond.
He's big. He's physical. I think he'd actually make a great James Bond.
He's gonna be a great Bond.
I know they had talked about Tom Hardy there for a while.
No, I'm not into that.
Yeah, they had talked about him for a while after Daniel Craig. I think he could pull it off.
But I don't think it'll be as like, I don't think it'll come across as well as Idris Elba. Like, no, Idris Elba, for me, I'm like, yeah, that's a Bond, for sure. Yeah. Hardy, yeah. I'm like, okay, I get it. But, I mean, why?
There's a movie, and he plays a U.S. Service agent, like with the FBI. It's called The Case. But it's an action movie, and, you know, so he gets in there, does fight scenes, does a lot of shit that you'd see in James Bond, and he pulls it off really well.
Oh, no, he's a great action star. But at the same time, for me, it's like a great action star doesn't necessarily make a great Bond.
Yeah, I wouldn't put, like, Vin Diesel or The Rock in James Bond.
No, oh my God, can you imagine?
Yeah,
Vin Diesel as a fucking Bond.
I mean, I like Vin Diesel's movies for the most part.
But
he's not a James Bond character. He don't have the acting chops. He has just has this more meathead type.
Maybe as a villain. I can maybe see him as a villain.
Oh, he would make a hilarious Bond villain.
Yeah.
He would be more of like the villain's henchman.
Yeah, yes. No, I would agree with that too, yeah.
He would be like the odd job. I mean,
yes. He would have like stainless steel teeth or some shit. Like, that's his jam.
It's in the 2000s. That would be some fucked up gold grill.
Oh, yeah.
Another movie I had in there, my last one, really. I mean, there's hundreds of others. I was going through a list, and goddamn, there were so many movies. And I was trying to stay like 2009 and earlier. I didn't want to go above that.
Yeah.
But a movie I love, and it's stupid, but I love it. Euro Trip.
Oh my God!
It is funny.
I love Euro Trip.
I can watch that anytime it comes on.
Because it's hilarious.
It was just on last night on like Cinemax, and I was like, it's like 20 minutes in there. I was like, yep, fuck this. Yep. Literally.
Well, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Oh yeah.
I can watch that.
If we're throwing in really stupid, hilarious movies, though, can I throw one in from the 2000s?
Sure.
Superbad?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That was on my list as well.
That's a great movie.
Go and watch College. It's just called College. It's got Drake Bell in it.
Yep.
But it's got some very fucking funny scenes in it. It's one of those type of Euro Trip kind of goofy ass movies.
I love it. Well, Superbad for me was my high school experience, I felt like.
I Hope He Served Beer in Hell is another good one.
That's a great one!
I love
Matt
that movie.
Juicery or whatever his last name is. He's great.
Yep,
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's fucking funny as shit. And it's based on real life events. The guy actually wrote the book and then he made the movie of it.
Cool. Ray, what were you going to say?
So a couple on my list. So Minority Report.
Oh yes.
Just it's one of those ones I can still watch, and I hope that they get some of that technology going.
I was going to say that was the biggest thing about that movie was the technology. Everyone's like, why can't we have interfaces like this?
But they said the biggest thing was they say that is a doable technology. We just gotta
still is, and we can still try and get there. Yeah. So. Avatar was.
The technology needed to make it right.
Yeah.
It may not be a great story, but it was a massive movie. Like I remember.
It was huge.
Guys.
Bonkers in that movie.
I still haven't seen Avatar yet. Have been to the land at Disney World.
Fern Gully 2000. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Harry Potter.
Oh my God!
That whole series started, which was great.
It started in 2001.
Yep.
Yeah,
I have never
I
watched
was 11
any
years
of them.
old, and I was Harry's age when I went and saw it. And it was a big deal.
So my brother has just finished watching that series with his kids, and Kendall was super excited this week because her Gryffindor robe and wand came in.
I love it. Yes. She's not a Gryffindor though.
She's not a Gryffindor.
She is a Slytherin 110%.
Absolutely, but you can tell her that.
I love her.
I got 3 more on my list.
All right.
One for the 90s that I can't not think of this movie when I think of the 90s because of remember how popular it was. I remember seeing it. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Brokeback Mountain.
No, that was 2005.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it was in the 2000s.
You said, good.
Yeah, so in 2000s. When I think of the
What year was that?
2005.
2005.
And
I was gonna say I was in high school when that came out.
I just remember there was like, oh, it's such a big deal, and I'm like,
it's a really good movie.
Yeah, but it's just,
it's beautifully done.
It is. It's a gorgeous movie.
I don't know.
It is.
There's just some scenes in there that I don't see.
As a person that grew up with horses, like in that world, it made a lot of sense to me. But
fair enough. It didn't work for me. That's okay though. Each their own. 2 movies that I absolutely love and adore to this day: Incredibles.
Oh my God!
Of movies, and they did really well. But Incredibles is the one that I want to be Mr. Incredible. And then the other one that really reminisced of my childhood, of kind of the person that I was, and how I kind of viewed the world at the time, was Almost Famous.
Oh my God!
I was the kid that was the writer. Like that was me as a kid, and so yeah, I looked at the world the same way he did, and I could see myself if I was into it at that time, I'd fall right into the same things that he did. And yeah.
See, I always felt very much like the big sister in that movie. Just like always being like, no, like don't let go of this. It's wonderful. Stop. Like that's what I always felt like.
Chat room is saying the 2000s was also the decade of the terrible video game movie revival. We had Lara Croft, Hitman, Resident Evil, House of the Dead, Blood Rain, Doom, Alone in the Dark, Dead or Alive, Silent Hill. All are horrible movies.
Wait a minute. Was Silent Hill an adaptation of a video game?
Of a video game.
Yeah.
A very popular, very good video game. Yes.
I didn't think that Silent Hill was all that bad, honestly.
And then Ryan saying Team America, which I had never seen, but I know has a huge cult following.
Oh, that was a great movie.
Some of the ones that I had listed, and some of them have already been mentioned. We had a lot of trilogies come out this time. The Dark Knight trilogy was freaking fantastic. The Lord of the Rings was the 2000s as well.
Hated those.
I know, Jay. You're that one person. Like you said, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. District 9 came out, which was
I remember that.
Oh, so good.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Which was fucking fantastic. The Prestige. If you've never seen The Prestige, check out The Prestige. That is a kind of a mindfuck at the end.
Hates The Prestige.
Hate that.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That was fucking awesome. The Spider-Man trilogy, like you said. The Wrestler came out and was just like,
I remember that too.
what is this? Like, he can fucking act? What the hell?
What movie is
And The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it's, of course, wow, she is still
definitely
hot as shit. We got the reboot of Star Trek, which divided the Trekkies, and I liked it. I still haven't seen a lot of the other sequels, but I liked what they were doing with it.
I like the first two. The last one I just haven't been able to watch yet.
Pirates of the Caribbean, the original trilogy.
Oh my God.
Came out then.
Oh my God.
Like you said, Harry Potter, Sin City, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
Sin City was really creative the way that they did that. I was really happy with that.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
The only real movies from Tarantino that I really actually liked, Kill Bill, was 2000s, and
I haven't seen Kill Bill.
And Glorious Bastards was good.
Glorious Bastards.
Oh, and Glorious Bastards was so good.
I like Glorious Bastards.
So speaking of Kill Bill, I heard they're working on a volume 3.
Yes,
I
they
heard
are.
that too.
And Ronda Rousey is up to play her daughter. You know,
that would be
grows up.
Mm-hmm. Aren't they also working? Isn't Quentin Tarantino also working on a movie about the Manson murders? Though.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's shooting
I
it
saw
right
that.
now.
Yeah, and Margot Robbie's in it. She plays
Yes,
Lana. Like,
yeah,
it's a whole thing. So I don't know. I'm curious.
Let's see here. A couple other ones I had. School of Rock.
Oh
This
my
was
God.
freaking awesome. Castaway.
Yes.
Wilson. Yes, that's a
That
great
was so
movie.
good. Like you said, Zombieland, the
Oh my God, I
X-Men
love
movies.
Zombieland.
The X-Men movies were freaking fantastic. Well, the first two.
Eugene, were you the person that told me that Zombieland was supposed to be a TV series?
It was. It was a short-lived TV series that was not very good. It was going to be on Amazon, and now that they're actually talking about doing a sequel and getting everyone back, I'm like, oh hell yes.
Yes.
Let's see here, and then like we had DreamWorks that put out a movie that did really well, really great series while it was out, and now it looks like garbage, which is Shrek.
Shrek!
Oh,
Horrifying! Fucking
Shrek.
horrifying!
Shrek was fine when you watched it during the time period, but now it is so dated. The references, it's cringeworthy.
It's their Aladdin. It was really funny at the time, but the references don't hold up.
Our the musical Shrek, so it's like a little. She played the young Fiona.
Yes, she did.
My God.
And then they did a different movie that I'm like, wow, y'all can actually do Pixar quality stuff. Kung Fu Panda is really good. Which fuck you. And then we have to talk about the actual King of the Hill, which would be Pixar, Finding Nemo. Wall-E.
Yes!
Wall-E is so good.
I love Wall-E.
I still haven't seen that.
The movie that
What?
broke my heart in the first 20 minutes up because that was just.
You remember the
Pixar was killing it. Pixar was killing it in the 2000s. They were really
Monsters Inc., The Incredibles. Like, this is talking about one fucking hit right after another. They were just got up to the plate and just knocked them out of the park.
Really and truly, Disney was really fucking around in the 2000s. They were going through a big change and like leadership, but Pixar was so on the ball. Like they kept Disney in business in the 2000s.
Well, yeah, but they split from Disney for a bit.
Yeah, until Disney woke up and was like, you know what?
Buy you back.
Everything that's here in the park that's really interesting and the kids really like, we don't technically own. We need to correct it.
That was the one good thing that Bob Iger did, which was like, hey, I should buy up this stuff that like people like. So kudos, Iger, but still.
And we have literally circled the biggest thing possibly movie-wise. The last two movies that I'm going to mention are Star Wars Episodes 2 and Episodes 3. What we thought to be the final Star Wars movies. And then, of course, years later... But
you're welcome.
Yeah, episode 2, there are parts in it that I like. It's not great. I actually really like Revenge of the Sith. And now that I'm watching Clone Wars, and I've told my brother, I'm like, this is going to be heartbreaking when I watch this movie again. He goes, oh, yeah, it is going to break your heart. He's like, because these cartoon characters that you're falling in love with and getting to know the clones and their personalities, and even some of the Jedi that just barely show up in the movie, you're going to have multiple episodes where you're going to get to know them and you're going to see them and you're going to like them. And then you're going to see them killed on screen and you're going to be like, well, this sucks.
That's the thing that they missed out. And that's why I don't like those movies, is because you had an opportunity to build all of that. And this could be for another episode. You had the opportunity to build all those things into the movies, and you just kind of sidestepped the whole thing so that you could focus on. No, but it wasn't even.
Well,
you made Vader a whiny little bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's my.
I agree.
There's a couple like 300. We forgot to mention.
I've never seen the end.
Oh my God, 300 is so good.
Dude, 300 was such a big deal. My high school mascot was the Spartans. So it was like a big fucking deal at my high school.
Watch the end of it.
Well, that was one that I just thought of. Another movie that I can watch literally anytime, called Watchmen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, Watchmen is so good. And that is one movie that you absolutely have to watch the director's cut, because the shit they cut out adds so much more to the movie. And technically speaking, sorry, Ray, one more thing. I think the movie is better than the book. Fight me on that. Because the ending of the movie, to me, makes more sense than the ending of the book.
Oh, sorry, right?
Good, Jake.
No, another movie that actually ties into something I really want to see that comes out at the beginning of next year, I believe, but Unbreakable.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Oh, Unbreakable,
yeah. It was great. You know what, we
started watching that.
Well, no, anyway, so we were watching it to see if it was okay for the kids. Logan, if you wanted to know, I think it's a little bit dark Christian, especially with it being to Split, and then. But anyway, so a couple of us were talking about Glass because the trailer and stuff, and some of the guys were like, "Why is this a big deal? Have you not seen Unbreakable? What's Unbreakable? What the fuck, dude? Where the hell have you been?"
I know, right?
So, I just wanted to go back to the Watchmen real quick as well. Rorschach was absolutely my favorite character, and we were talking about this again. If we were to cast certain characters, that the actor, I can't remember his name right now, that played Rorschach, I would cast him, and at the time, in the Spider-Man universe, I would cast him as Carnage. I think he would be amazing as Carnage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
At least for that era of Spider-Man, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He still might be able to do it now.
Yeah, he could.
Of course, I mean, most of it would be CG anyway, so, I mean, but, doing the voice and the personality would be awesome.
Yeah.
The chat room is having an interesting conversation. It's funny. All right. So with that said, is there anyone else wanted to throw in there before we wrap up and go into our picks and pans?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I still haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth? It's
sad.
So good.
Very sad.
I haven't seen that either. Yeah, everybody tells me that I'm gonna cry, so I'm trying to avoid it.
You're going to cry, but it's beautiful. Like it's just tragic.
I cry at everything. That doesn't mean anything.
Oh, you cried more. That was the only one. Everybody else said more.
Pretty sure hit a. Listen, we could go on forever, but the movies that came out at the time, there's so many hits.
All right, then. With that said, let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans. Would anyone like to go first?
No.
Sure.
All right, Ray, what you got for us?
All right. So a buddy of mine showed this to me, and I thought it was very appropriate, and I wish I would have seen this last episode. Jonah Hill's written and directed a new movie.
Oh, yes.
Mid-90s.
What?
Yes.
And if you haven't seen the trailer for it,
It
looks really good. I actually really want to see this. So go check it out. It's about it's about a couple skaters.
Skate
culture.
culture.
Yeah, a bit of a skate culture. But anyway, so it's this kid. He joins up with some skaters. Kind of has a Kids feel. I don't know if you remember the movie Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
But it looks good, and it actually I'm interested in watching this one. My other pick. Sorry, I'm going to go to my pan first. Mr. Bean passed away.
What?
That.
No!
Oh, that was a hoax.
That was a hoax?
That was a hoax.
You told me it was
Oh my
real.
god!
Up and said it was a hoax.
Oh,
That's
see,
not nice. Don't do that to me.
Okay. So I apologize for
My
passing that on.
cousin put it on Facebook.
And I'm outside
God.
doing, and Chris looks up and she's like, "Oh my
My
God, Mr.
sister-
Bean passed
my
away." I'm like,
sister
"What?"
told me-
Oh my god! Don't
I go back
say
out
that.
to barbecue, and I'm still barbecuing, thinking that Mr. Bean's dead,
No,
and
no.
she never tells me it's fake.
Forgot.
Oh, you guys.
No. They made the whole announcement that it was an internet hoax.
Oh, for
Rowan
fuck's sakes.
Atkinson is very much alive.
Well, then I don't have a pan. Then.
Well, you don't have to have one. Thank God.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chris didn't tell me that it was a hoax.
I forgot you weren't there.
Anyway,
Don't do that, Ray. There's been a lot that's happened this year. Leave me alone.
Never.
anyway,
Oh my god.
pan then my pick. Sorry,
My pen is my line one.
pan is my my pick is the kids are going to camp this week, and I'm so excited.
Yay!
Awesome.
They are going to have a blast, and they're going to learn about culinary skills this year, which is kind of cool. And
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yay!
Good
I
deal.
love it.
Mhm.
Logan will really like that. I feel like she'll be into that.
I'm sorry. What would you say, Ray? It was breaking up for me.
My last pick is Mr. Bean.
Good deal. What about you, Chris? Do you have a pick or pan for us?
My pan that I forgot to tell my husband that Rowan Atkinson
No shit.
did not die.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, no joke.
That's a couple of days now.
Ugh,
Um,
guys,
Mural.
a mural, an homage.
you're killing me.
Sorry. And I guess my pick is the same one as Ray. The kids are going to camp. I'm really excited for them. They're going the same week. Last year they went at different times. But they're going the same week. They're doing the culinary portion. So they're going to, this is a summer camp that I went to last kid. I like it. Camp. Just going to learn about farm to table. They're going to pick one meal today. They both pick.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you. Can you speak up?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So they've been 9.5 days. Super excited. And also,
Hold on one second. I'm still not hearing you. Lainey, can you mute your mic because we're getting like a bunch of stuff.
Hold on. Sorry.
All right. Try it again, Ray.
Okay.
Chris.
can you hear me now?
No, I got you.
Okay.
Yay!
So a pick for Logan is Voltron. She loved it. She can't wait to talk to you about it, by the way, Eugene. She asked me
Okay.
today if you'd watched it. She actually wrote it on the calendar in big, giant letters with a big exclamation mark, kind of over my little thing about my in-laws' anniversary. So I actually forgot it yesterday because all I saw was Voltron. But she was so excited to watch that.
And she actually had a bit of a fight with her mom about watching it because Logan had to get off of her phone for a couple of hours during the day because that's the rule of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And
she pulled
was upset.
Total teenage attitude, but it was kind of hilarious. She was pouting the whole day and was
She
like
couldn't watch it. Well, all my friends have finished watching it.
passive aggressively making comments about it the whole day. And I was like, keep going.
Yeah.
Let's go. Keep going, buddy. What else you got? She was really excited about it.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she had a really good conversation with my niece, who actually stopped watching it after a certain episode because she's like, I'm done. That's it. And she hated it.
Apparently she didn't like what happened.
She didn't like what happened. And so today Logan and her cousin had a discussion about why. So that's interesting.
Well, with that, I'll go ahead and move into. I've actually got 2 picks. The first one is I wasn't sure when I was going to be able to watch it, but I had a break today where I was like, well, do I really want to start something else or whatever? I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll sit down and watch a little Voltron. So I got the first 3 episodes under my belt, and yeah, still really good. Tell her I've got the first 3 episodes down. I've got quite a ways to go, but yeah, I still love the series. And by the way, the series is done by the people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender. So same writers. So if you like how they're doing this, you're gonna love Avatar. My other pick is just on a whim. I watched a movie last weekend, I think. Or sometime or another. Yeah, it had been last weekend, called Extinction. It's on Netflix.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's Michael Pena is the main actor in it, and he does a decent job. I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much if I had paid to go see it in the theater, but hey, it's on Netflix, it's free, whatever. But it's an interesting idea. It doesn't beat you over the head with the kind of final idea in it or whatever, but I enjoyed it. To me it's good sci-fi because when you come out of it, you have questions and you think about the possibilities and the things that it brings up. So if you like good hard sci-fi, this is a good movie to watch. So there's actually been a couple of different ones pop up on my Netflix queue that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Like I think there's one called This Is the End or Kiss Me Goodbye or something like that, and they're all like end of the world type stuff, and I'm just like, oh hell yeah, I'm digging this stuff that they're putting out there. Like Netflix hasn't had that out of the park movie yet, but they've had several TV series that have they've knocked it out of the park, but they're getting closer. Like I think it's just a matter of time before they have a Netflix movie that's going to be, everyone's going to be like, well, fuck, man, that did awesome. Like, so I know they were hoping, what's it called was going to be that way. The one with Will Smith and the,
right.
Yeah. But it was good. I liked it.
I liked it too. It needed more.
They're making another one.
Yeah.
So.
Good. I'd love to explore that universe more.
So do I. I think it's very interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm seeing Try Troll Hunters on Netflix if you like great storytelling on Voltron. Okay, yeah, that keeps popping up in my queue. I may have to check that out. So, Lainey, do you have a pick or pan for the week? She's probably trying to unmute her mic, maybe. While she's doing that, Jay, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, man, what's your pick or pan for the week?
I don't have any picks because I didn't really get to watch anything new since the last time we talked.
Okay.
Just with work and everything else, just haven't had a whole lot of time for anything new. But yeah, my only pan I can honestly say is work itself. But that's about it. Just dealing with people's shit, trying to fix their own problems that they created themselves. It's getting a little annoying, just to say the least.
I could throw in that as a pan right now too. Like the teachers have all come back on contract, and it's just we had 14 new portables. We have 35 new teachers. Some of them are not new to teaching. Some of them are completely new to teaching, and it's just like every time I turn around, something's being broken or being moved. And thank God I've got a decent partner. But yeah, I understand right now, Jay.
Yeah, other than that, not really too much to complain about, but yeah, just people suck. people what a
bunch of bastards. That's right. Lainey, what's your pick or pan for the week?
So I am one of those teachers that came back on contract this week. But I haven't had that issue. It's kind of the end of my summer, I guess. And I've really enjoyed all of the music that has out in the last couple of weeks. I got a new Travis Scott album, who is like a really prevalent Houston rapper, which has been really great. And then I also got a new Mac Miller album, which has been awesome. So I've greatly enjoyed all of that. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have a pan. Those have been my picks. Those have been like blasting in my classroom as I've been working. So
very cool.
That's about it.
Very cool. I'm being told that apparently the Troll Hunter series on Netflix was created by Guillermo del Toro. So,
wow.
I'm like
showing up on our.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, guess what?
Yeah.
That just got it into the list. That
I'm
sold
into that.
Dude.
You sold
Fuck
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So good deal. Thank you for that. Who was that? Richard? Yeah. Thank you for that, Richard.
Richard.
All right. Well, with that said, I guess that wraps up our episode. That is episode 99, ladies and gentlemen. If you would, please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Music. As always, you can find us at epicallygeeky.com. You can find the site at Epically Geeky on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I know normally we do every 2 weeks. We've been knocking out an episode every week for a while, mainly because we wanted to get to episode 100, which literally happens next week at GeekFest, because we actually have a pretty big announcement to make there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the internet connection situation is going to be. It's going to be done on a Friday. If we can broadcast, we will. If not, we'll just have to record it there. And then maybe if we can't have people on specifically, like, groups of, members of the group, we'll dedicate episode 101 to looking back at the show and talking about it. So, but yeah, episode 100 is going to be live from GeekFest. And like I said, we've kind of got a little bit of a big announcement on that one. So that being said, where can we find you on the internet, Lainey?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's a Lainey Bird.
Where can we find you, Jay?
Those places. I think it's Epically J on Instagram and J1Red on Twitter, I believe. That's about as good as I can give you right now.
Nice. Ray, where can we find you online?
So on an upcoming episode of Epic or Rhythm and Brews, I know that's going to be in the works, right, Lainey? And so obviously here, Marginally Geeky, which we are or so.
I'm sorry, what now?
We're Marginally Geeky. That's another month, I think. We're
a month out on that one because we just recorded the new episode. It just dropped on Friday, and so we'll be doing that one.
Yep. So
early next month. So
that one, and then the Lake Life Artist on Instagram is probably the best spot to find me. So.
And Chris, we can find you now.
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah. So
sort of.
Yes.
Here on Epically Geeky, on Marginally Geeky, we're doing a new faction. That sounds weird. Avenue of the Epically Geeky thing, Sustainably Geeky with Jen. So that's coming out. We're doing another podcast on Tuesday, so I think that's coming out in September. And on Instagram at Cedar Birch Cottage. This week, while the kids are gone, we are going to be redoing their rooms. So I'm going to be taking video of that and pictures and it to document small house living.
Nice. Can't wait to see it. And as always, you can find my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.